Tonight, it is my distinct honor to present this award to Don Katz, the founder and executive chairman of Audible. It's been a real personal pleasure to get to know Don and his wife, Leslie Larson, over more than a decade. At the age of 43, Don stepped away from his career as an acclaimed writer of nonfiction to create Audible, a company that went on to define the digital media revolution. Don has attributed his founding vision for the company to a unique understanding of American vernacular storytelling and its impact on literature and culture that he learned from his mentor, Ralph Ellison. Audible's mission from the beginning was to celebrate words as performance art and to take the spoken word into the media mainstream. And by most measures, Audible, under Don's leadership, has done just that. Over the past 10 years, Audible Productions alone have employed 60,000 different actors, as well as thousands of working writers, directors, sound designers, and producers. Don's commitment to redressing structural inequality is reflected in his stated corporate purpose: to make Audible a company that pursues meaning in ways that transcend what it does. Audible's unique employment and training programs and innovative startups like Newark Working Kitchens and Newark Venture Partners anticipated the contemporary social justice movement in corporate America by several decades and stand as a model for future founders and CEOs. Don, on behalf of the Gotham Film and Media Institute, thank you for your support of our growing audio programs. You are an inspiration for our entire community, and tonight we celebrate you with the 2022 Gotham Awards Innovator Tribute. Now, let's look at some of the amazing work Don and his team have done at Audible.
You go first, Don, and I'll join in later. Well, I could start being Robin Williams, and then he'll explain at audible.com.
So, the whole idea...
No, nice start.
No, stop.
No, go.
Oh. You can take it away. You can play it in your car.
Wow.
You can exercise with Robin.
Oh, that's frightening.
And
now, and 2, and 3, and 4.
I would listen to audiobooks as a jogger in Riverside Park. I just remember thinking, there's music in these words. The idea was to make a solid-state cassette. These little devices filled with the soundscape of culture. People thought I was out of my mind.
We've done a deal with the biggest company in audiobooks, Audible.com, putting spoken word content right alongside the music.
The main thing we did is we invited some of the greatest actors in to position the book as a script. When I heard Kate Winslet do Teresa Recamp, I remember thinking, we could take this whole thing to a new level.
I just love the experience. Curl up in a chair in a booth and get lost in a story.
Reading this, it's one of the major accomplishments of my work life.
The folks at Audible, they're giving members of our audience a credit. I read my own book, that's the book you want.
Audible Theater was just a natural extension of these powerful performances.
Audible arranged for us to be in the Minetta Lane Theater in front of a live audience, these impressive actors right in front of them.
This isn't like anything else I've ever done. The listener can expect to be opened up to themselves. And I love when art does that.
Why did you move to Newark?
We wanted to see what a very successful company could do to accelerate the comeback of a city. The interns who work here have to be kids from Newark.
You're getting a lot of great minds pulled into here.
People had given up on Newark. People ignored our city. Don Katz saw the worth. He saw the dignity.
Apartments being built, the downtown's coming back.
The small businesses are benefiting. The future of Newark and the future of Audible are very intertwined.
Companies can help create enough wealth and jobs equitably. And if we can make that happen in Newark and Audible can be a part of it, I'll mark this alongside my amazing family, my books, and Audible as an indication that I've done okay.
Audible hopes you have enjoyed this program.
And now, please welcome to the stage Audible's founder and executive chairman, Don Katz.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Gotham. Being here with so many of the culture's most profound talents and seeing my much younger self in those clips, I recall how many renowned movie and TV stars over the years have told me that beyond embracing the creative liberation of working with Audible, the non-existent need for tight close-ups and hair and makeup added to the allure. Our repositioning of books as scripts allowed actors and directors to create an Audible aesthetic that inspired nuanced decisions about how to bring words to life as straight shots into people's imaginations. Today, many millions of customers across 46 different languages no longer clarify that when they say they've read a book, they in fact have listened. Audible originals, to act and direct and write to the intimate Audible aesthetic beyond books, also required artists to imagine outside the media status quo from the beginning. That clip of Robin Williams you just saw was from 1999. The term podcast was 5 years from entering the lexicon. The internet was still the phone lines, and people had no idea what Robin and I were talking about. Robin was emboldened to create a bi-weekly Audible original show in exchange for warrants in a tiny company with big dreams, in part because his mentor, the great Jonathan Winters, said he ought to do it. Jonathan said, "You've become too dependent on physical shtick, Robin. When we left vaudeville and went to the earliest days of radio, we found out who was truly funny." I've told that story and described the many golden ages of explosive creativity enabled by emergent technologies, often to creators used to writing scripts dependent on visual experience. Julianne Moore was part of the brainstorming that became Audible Theater. What if we could engage underemployed playwrights and stage actors to create powerful performances that could be heard by millions of people beyond a theater's four walls? One Audible Theater invention, the Emerging Playwrights Fund, has achieved 50 commissioned new 1- and 2-voice plays, including many global Audible original hits. If you've checked out any of the 31 Audible Words and Music originals with John Legend's fascinating story just released, I think you'll agree that these powerful soliloquies, punctuated by music, portend a new future for the memoir. I'm proud that Audible has inspired well-performed words that approach art and the artful telling of stories that are so distinctive that so many listeners want to pay for Audible, even when around 5 million free podcasts enable anyone with a phone or a PC to have a talk show. I feel lucky tonight to have been a nonfiction book and magazine writer for 20 years before Audible, during historical high points for those modes of expression. I also came of age amid the immoral and inequalities of Chicago in the 1960s and an immoral war in Southeast Asia. The unique depth of our commitment to black voices and other marginalized voices from the beginning and our embrace of Newark were results. I'm indebted tonight to so many people here and to many thousands of colleagues who've embraced Audible as a cause over the years, and to my ever-supportive and wonderful family. I'm elated by this honor and will relish this moment for a long time. Thanks.